Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live assembly for Natural Scotland Week 2024. My name's Josh. You haven't met me yet, but I'm standing in for Kat because Kat is on a very important mission right now. She's in the car, but hopefully she is able to hear me. Kat, if you're able to hear me, could you unmute yourself and let us know what it is that you're up to this morning?
Hi, hold on a sec. Sorry.
Hi, Kat.
I am in the car just now with our chief executive, Barry, who's driving, so I'm not going to disturb him too much. Both hands on the wheel, Barry. Yeah, and we are headed to Georgetown School to give them one of our Eco Schools Awards today and to meet up with some of the pupils who won one of our Litter League Awards as well.
Brilliant. That sounds like an incredible adventure, and it's really good that you're able to get to go out and meet some of the wonderful pupils who we've been working with today. Thank you so much for letting us know that, Kat. Good luck with the rest of your trip, and
Thank you.
have a good time.
Thanks for standing in for me, Josh.
You are welcome. You're welcome. I'm looking forward to working with everyone today. Thank you, Kat, and good luck to Kat and Barry. Bye. So, it's lovely to see everyone today. Like we've always done, before we get into the main part of the assembly, it would be lovely to hear about anything that you learned this week. So please just take a moment to have a think and then share with us what you've learned over this week in Natural Scotland Week 2024. So we've got one school, they've learned about birds and about the wonderful birds that are corncrakes. Yeah, they are incredible birds. We've got another class have learned about invertebrates, and we're going to be talking a bit more about butterflies and moths a bit later on today, because there are so many wonderful questions that you all had about them. Caterpillars like eating nettles. Yeah, I found that really fascinating. And weeds and nettles are important for some animals. Yes, and we can call things weeds, but maybe that does them a bit of a disservice because they could be really useful for other living things. And another group has said, yeah, we need weeds. Yes, I really agree with you there. And larvae have to eat as much as they can because when they are adults, they don't have mouths to feed. Yeah, and I wonder if you can remember which insect and larvae that is about, because it's going to come up in a question, in a quiz a bit later. We've also got rivers have lots of invertebrates living in them, yes. And hedgehogs, they can eat caterpillars. They can eat lots of caterpillars, can't they? That was one of the things that amazed me was how many of them those hedgehogs can eat. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of those wonderful answers. One of the other themes that we've had over the assemblies and sessions this week is that sometimes we can feel that humans and nature are separate, but actually nature is all around us and we are just as much a part of nature as a dandelion or a butterfly. Another class has said being in nature is good for your mental health, and I really agree with you there as well. It's really important that we realize that we are part of nature as much as all of these other living things that we share our planet with. And we learn that we've got lots in common with animals, more so than we might have thought. Things like termites actually having ventilation in their homes to help them stay cool, and all of the things that we've got in common with bats, like vampire bats. And many of the things that we thought were unique to us, other animals can also do them as well. So there was that wonderful example of a sea urchin using a barnacle as its hat. And then also things like different birds having different accents. And also some birds being able to use tools like we do. And then our colleague Nicola did a great session on our senses, and we learned that if we use all of these senses to connect to nature, it helps us pay more attention. And it also helps us discover how interesting and beautiful nature is. Even if it was something that we would have previously considered a weed or a nuisance, we can see that lots of living things have really important roles to play. And actually, every single part of nature is important. And now that we know that there could be some things that we do or that we used to do that weren't so good for nature, but we can now start to do things a bit differently. And I'm sure lots of you have got lovely bug hotels in your school grounds to help protect the insects that we share our planet with. What we're going to do now is we're going to have a quiz. So if you've got whiteboards and pens, then it's a great opportunity to get them ready. There's a few ways that you could organize yourselves for this quiz. You could split your classroom down the middle and you could play in 2 teams. Or you could play as a class and share your answers together. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds now to decide how you want to organize yourselves. And a reminder to the teachers, you don't need to write your answers in the chat yet. I'll go through all of the questions and then I'll show you the answers at the very end. But I'll just give you 30 seconds now to get your classes organized, ready for the quiz. Okay. So again, just a reminder, you don't need to write your answers in the chat yet. I'll show you all the answers at the very end of the chat, at the very end of the quiz. But to begin with, which animal, apart from humans, laughs when it is tickled? Is it a rat, a hedgehog, or a robin? There's some lovely images there now. And we can see there's some lovely oyster catcher chicks outside one of our school's windows right now. Thank you for sharing that image. So question 1, which animal, apart from humans, laughs when it is tickled? A, B, or C? Okay, our next question. What sense do pigeons use to find their way home? Is it A, ultraviolet vision, B, echolocation, so using sound, or C, magnetism? Here's a lovely male pigeon with its beautiful neck feathers. You might see them puffing up those feathers in parks and on streets at the moment. But what sense do they use to help them find their way home? Okay, question 3. What happens to caterpillars when they are becoming butterflies in their chrysalises? Do they, A, turn to jelly, B, remain solid, or C, they turn into gas? I remember finding this one particularly incredible. What happens to caterpillars when they become butterflies in their chrysalises? Question 4. Why do we need lots of different types of weeds? Is it A, many caterpillars are fussy and only feed on specific plants? Is it B, different weeds flower at different times, giving a constant nectar supply to different insects and pollinators? Is it C, birds and mammals can feed on their different seeds? Or is it D, all of the above, all of those reasons? Okay, question 5 now. Which of these is not commonly called a daddy longlegs? Is it A, a crane fly, B, a cellar spider, C, a grasshopper, or D, a harvestman? Which of those is not commonly called a daddy longlegs? I remember when I was a child, I was very scared of daddy longlegs and those big dangly legs that can fly towards you. Okay, question 6. Which part of an adult mayfly doesn't work? Is it A, its mouth, B, its wings, or C, its legs? And again, I found this absolutely incredible and actually quite unbelievable when I found out this fact in our lesson earlier on. Number 7. How much does a wren weigh? Wrens are wonderful birds, but how much does one of them weigh? Is it the same as a grain of rice, the same as a pound coin, or the same as a teaspoon? Finally, question 8. How can farmers mow their fields to help corncrakes? Is it A, mowing them in the middle, from the edge of the field into the middle? Is it B, mowing from the middle of the field out towards the edge? Or is it C, mowing in straight lines up and down the field? Okay, that's all of our questions. We're now going to find out, how did you do? So I'm going to show you the answers and then you can score yourselves. So question 1, it was a rat. They can laugh in the ultrasonic range. So we can't hear them, but we can have special microphones to hear their laughter. Question 2 was C, pigeons are able to use magnetism of the earth to find their way home. Question 3, it was A, caterpillars, they turn into jelly when they're in their chrysalises as they change into butterflies. I found that absolutely incredible. Question 4, it was D, it was all of the above. So weeds provide food for all sorts of different creatures, and so we should be letting them grow in our school grounds and at home. For 5, it was C, the grasshopper. Craneflies, cellar spiders, and harvestmen can all be called daddy longlegs. Number 6 was A, the mouth. Adult mayflies only live for a very short period of time and they don't feed during this time. So they don't need the use of their mouth, which I found unbelievable. But they rely on the energy which they store up when they are larvae. Number 7 was B. A wren weighs about the same as a pound coin. That's only 7 to 12 grams. Think about how light that is. It's absolutely incredible. And number 8 was B. Mowing. Farmers can mow their fields from the middle of the field out to the edge as a way of helping save corncrake chicks that might be living in the field. I can see that one class managed to get 8 out of 8. That's brilliant. Well done. It'd be lovely to see some other scores as well. Thank you for sharing your results. We've got a bonus question as well, actually. And this is to do with what my colleague Nicola spoke about. So can anyone remember what is the name of the sense that tells your body where it is in space? And just a hint, this is what allows you to touch your elbow with your eyes closed. Can anyone remember the name of that sense? Thank you so much for sharing all of your scores, everyone. And the two groups have come back with the right answer. It is proprioception. And it's to do with, the bones that you've got in your ears. Thank you so much. Brilliant answers. I'm glad that I was able to pronounce proprioception. It's a tricky word to say. Now we're going to answer some of your questions. So there were some really wonderful questions from you, especially about butterflies. And unfortunately, we didn't have time to answer all of them in that session. We still don't actually have time to answer all of them today, but we've got a few answers from our butterfly expert, Alice. And just a reminder to keep trying to find out about butterflies and moths, since they're very interesting and amazing creatures. So one of the questions was, can butterflies fly in the rain? And the answer that Alice gave was most species, most types actually try to avoid flying in the rain. And they try and seek shelter. And just imagine how large a raindrop can feel to a butterfly, and having that thing hit you whilst you're mid-flight could be very disruptive. Some butterflies are more rain-proof, so they can fly in the rain, but most try and avoid it to protect their wings and themselves. Another question was, can butterflies hear? Now, scientists haven't actually identified scientists have identified things that could act as ears that are sensitive to the sound, and those things are found on the wings of the butterflies. But we don't actually yet know if the butterflies can hear. Interestingly, many moths can actually hear, and that is useful to them because they come out at night, and that might be when they can't see as much, and therefore hearing is more important. Thank you very much to Mrs. Finlayson's class. I hope you have a lovely assembly and enjoy your day. The next question was, do caterpillars get stung by nettles when feeding on them? And Alice said, no, they can avoid being stung because they're quite small, so they can avoid the stingers and by the way that they feed. And the final question was, why are moths attracted to light? And the answer from Alice was, many moth species aren't actually attracted to light. I guess we only see the ones who are because we see them flying towards the lights. And we don't really fully understand why those moths appear to be attracted to light. A recent theory that is happening at the moment is that moths fly with their back to wherever the brightest source of light is, which normally is the moon in the sky, but it could be that artificial light is actually confusing them and they're not quite sure what to do. Well, I hope that answers some of your questions. You've been sharing some really brilliant photos and bits of work with us, and we'd love to share some of them with you. So I'm going to show you some of the incredible work that you've been sharing with us. Thank you very much for all of those wonderful photos that you shared. We've also actually got a short video clip that has been shared by one of our schools. I believe this is Twinholme Primary School, and hopefully you'll be able to hear some of the wonderful bird calls that they have made. Twinholme, if you're listening, it'd be lovely to know what bird calls you guys were imitating, but hopefully this video will work and we can hear some wonderful bird calls from Twinholme Primary School. Thank you very much for that, Twinholme Primary School. And thank you again to everyone who has shared all of those images with us. It was puffins, that was the call of puffins, and robins. Well, that's wonderful to hear. I'm hopefully going to go and see some puffins next week, so I'll be able to listen out for that call when I'm trying to find them. Just a reminder that we've got our land art competition. Nature is happiness, and you can send your photos to ecoschools@keepscotlandbeautiful.org by 5 p.m. on Monday, the 20th of May, so this coming Monday, and there are RSPB vouchers to be won. Another reminder that we've got some events coming up. We've got an Eco Schools meet and greet on the 22nd of May. We've got an Eco Schools International Celebration Assembly on the 7th of June, and we've got a mini live lesson on heritage on the 3rd of June. And you can visit our website to learn more and to register for that as well. Something else that you might not be aware of, that Eco Schools is 30 years old. And to celebrate, we're going to be running a series of challenges with exciting prizes for all schools to take part in. The final part of the celebration will include an invitation for all schools in Scotland to join us and hold their own One Planet picnic towards the end of the school year. And we will be launching the celebration in August 2024, so this coming August. So please look out for further information then. We'd just like to say a big thank you to all of the educators for engaging with us, helping pupils do their amazing work and being an inspiration for their classes. So pupils, I would love you to give your teachers a big round of applause for all of the hard work that they have done for you. And we also want to say a big thank you to you, the pupils. So thank you for listening to our lessons, wanting to take action on your planet and sharing your fantastic work. So please give yourselves a big round of applause and keep up the good work on reducing plastic pollution as well. And finally, it is just a very big thank you from all of us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for all the wonderful work you've done over this past week. It's been absolutely lovely to witness it all. Have a lovely rest of your day, and we'll see you at one of our next events in the near future. Thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye.